I have decided at this particular moment that it would not be the time for me to speak modest, for I I am like the fly that is willingly trapped in the web of this black widow who possesses the silhouette of a goddess standing before my mind's eye. Noticeable. Even to my blind side, she speaks softly to my DNA. Originally, I was captivated by her mind, so it's not all about TNA with this one. She's different. Boldly told me to keep my filthy money and instead extended a hand while inviting me to drink from her land of milk and honey, tantalizing my taste buds along the way. I am strong today because of an unbreakable bond that we possess. She genuinely wants me to see success, and I tend to agree, not only for myself, but to one day return to my sleeping beauty, awakening her with a kiss so that I may tend to her needs for a change. I can see that she's been scarred in the past, and understandably she doesn't trust easily. Overwhelmed with greed, they lusted for the very touch of her terrain. From her mountainous peaks to her rain-starved desert plains, I could remain forever lost within her hidden valley from which a river flows freely. She is my original Isis, my queen Sheba, the very air that I breathe, my Nefertiti, my key to life. Taken where we like a thief in the night and savagely passed through the middle passage. I became the bastard child of one lady Liberty, my shady and perverted Uncle Sam, often raising her skirt for a peek. Incestuous ways passed down from generation to generation. Bloodlines infiltrated, leading me to see familiar black faces as a perceived threat. See, they tell me to pray for peace, but in return I receive death by those who have been sworn to protect and serve. My nerves are erect because deep down I am homesick. Traces of her taste permanently remain stained on my own lips. Visions of her in that red dress against that black skin with those green beads and braids flowing down to her shoulder blades. An olive branch in one manicured hand while the other hand holds the blade for her own protection. Many of her sons have attempted insurrections in order to return to her. It's all becoming clearer to me. How many are truly familiar with these martyrs? Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Marcus Garvey, erased from history books and labeled ungodly because they refuse to live on their knees. I am drawn like a magnet to what lies on the other side of the Atlantic, chanting, dancing. My heartbeat synchronizes with the rhythmic drums of the Zulu. Who knew that after all these generations, my final destination would end up being where it started? When my father's father first departed. I was lied to, told that if I returned home that I would be unrecognizable to the people. They said that God doesn't visit those places where schools barely exist and AIDS runs rampant and cameras get close-ups of babies with fly-covered faces, and we chose to receive this information from racists. You've been bamboozled, led to believe that where you come from is subhuman and of lesser intelligence, that your purpose is to entertain, sing, and dance, but the rest of you is irrelevant. You let your anger consume you, then they hand you a gun. You make babies for fun and then abandon your young. You get money from nothing but mismanage the funds because you did not finish school. And now the damage is done. Or is it? Every night she visits me in my dreams, softly singing to me lullabies of encouragement. My black butterfly provides spiritual nourishment for my soul, which is starving for history, not his story. This glory surely belongs to her, just as surely as I long for her and infinitely pursue her. I share with you what she told me, to know your past so you too can control your future. Not knowing if you're coming or going because your history was omitted from the school books. So we idolize other cultures, spend money frivolously, seriously. Take a glance in the mirror and observe how a fool looks. Every time I think of her, it still hurts to know that I was produced from a war-torn, ravaged womb where stillbirths are common and the infant mortality rate is astronomical. But there was nothing comical about the way that her legs were splayed wide and taken advantage of by other continents, or the way that quotas are more than met when I am pulled over, guns drawn in anticipation of a struggle. And the last thing I remember was the sound of the blast and the flash from the muzzle. Murder in the first versus crimes against humanity, both with no witnesses. Me and my favorite girl physically worlds apart, but living the same hell through parallel existences. No distance is great enough to extinguish this passion that lies between us. One person, one place, one mind state. Freedom. The end.
Oh, wow.